Big Rab Show podcast is kindly sponsored by G1 Reeds. They are the champion's choice, with many bands around the world playing G1 products, providing everything you'd need to hit the circle or the big stage. So, check out g1reeds.com as they keep the lights on here at the Big Rab Show podcast.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another Big Rab Show podcast. Episode 486. Dang, that number absolutely melts my head. Whenever I think about that, that's 486 weeks without me ever missing a week of saying hello and welcome to the Big Rab Show podcast. That's crazy. Crazy biscuits. Well, if anything, it's about to get even more crazy as the rest of this season unfolds, and we've got a lot to get into on this week's podcast, all right? We've got brand new music, we've got competitions, concerts, and, of course, our amazing topic of the week. You might have seen the title of this week's episode. Yeah, we're going to get into all that stuff to do with pipe band rankings. We mentioned it in last week's show, and, well, we're going to dedicate a full topic of the week this week to kind of get in the weeds with all of it. It's going to get very nerdy in this week's episode. Plus, we have an amazing announcement to bring you. As promised last night on Fuse, yes, we will have a huge announcement later on in the show. But for now, let's get through our introductions then, shall we? If this is your first ever Big Rab Show podcast, you are welcome. We are the show for the bagpiping folk. We reflect everything in the bagpiping world, be it Celtic music, folk music, or indeed our bread and butter, which is competitive piping and drumming. Each and every week we're here talking about what we know and love to be the music of the great Highland bagpipe and its people. And yeah, like every other podcast under the sun, we do have a Patreon where you can go and click on the link and help support your own wee favourite bagpiping podcasts. Now, you do get a load of additional extras for that little click of support. Yeah, and one of the huge byproducts of clicking on support, well, you immediately become awesome.
The Patreon faithful are awesome.
Yes, they are. Immediately awesome.
The Patreon faithful are awesome.
Woohoo!
The Patreon faithful are awesome.
Yes, they are indeed awesome.
The Patreon faithful are awesome.
Yes, the Patreon faithful are awesome. Now, if you haven't clicked on our Patreon before, well, now's a good time. Go and check it out. There's so much back there. If anything, one of the real hits with our Patreon faithful this last while has been our Fly on the Wall documentary series. 3 episodes of which are now up there, where they're kind of like literally fly on the wall documentaries as to what the Rab Show team get up to behind the scenes in between each episode of the podcast. And yeah, we spoke about it last week. Of course, we were competing on all of that and preparing for future shows and all of that. So if you do want to check out all of that stuff, the backroom things, you can go and check it out over there on Patreon. There's a ton of great stuff over there. Unbelievable. Right. Patreon is well and truly plugged. Let's move on. Well, with each and every Big Rab Show, we do open the door to listener mail. And this week's no different. Our email address has never changed from the start of the show, which is bigrabshow@gmail.com. That address again, bigrabshow@gmail.com. Now, the first bit of listener mail that we've got in was following an episode that we recorded with Trevor Clydesdale, the piping historian. Well, Trevor, since that interview, has been uploading all sorts of really interesting little tidbits and stuff over on social media, and one of which has got people talking. Yeah. It was a post from the 1995 World Pipe Band Championships, and yeah, we got a few emails on this. Yeah, asking where are those bands now? The reason the question was asked is because, whenever you look at the lineup for the Grade 1 competition in 1995, there was 28 bands listed here. 28 bands in Grade 1. Wow. So, yeah, I think that was absolutely the conversation around dinner tables, and a lot of people have been emailing us about this. So, yeah, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, go back and have a listen to that episode with Trevor Clydesdale, where we talk about the history of bagpipe and his research and his collection and everything. And the stuff that he's been unearthing recently since that interview, go and check it out. But the list of 28 bands, do I really want to read a hashtag list of 28 bands? I think I will. Simon Fraser University obviously won that year. We had the Field Marshal Montgomery in second. Third was Shots. Fourth was Victoria Police. Fifth was Strathclyde Police. And sixth was Boghall and Bathgate. Boghall and Bathgate, I can just about talk. Yeah. In seventh then was Scottish Power. Eighth was McNaughton's Vale of Atholl. Ninth was the 78th Fraser Highlanders. 10th was the RUC Pipe Band. Then we get into interesting territory. In 11th place, we had the Metro Toronto Police. Metro Toronto Police. Now, I think that was Toronto Police, and then, well, that was, them, obviously, before. Yeah, so they had the Metro bit, and then they lost the Metro bit, and see, spans that change names. It causes confusion. Anyway, and then we had the Peel Regional Police. Yes, they're still around. New Zealand Police, absolutely. Ravara, Glasgow Sky, Stonehaven Pipe Band. There's a band you don't hear of often nowadays. Yeah, Grampian Police, of course, they're back out again. Lothian and Borders, yes. Polkemmet, Dysart and Dundonald, Monkstown Mosley, City of Glasgow, the Edmonton Collegian. There you go, there's a band I haven't heard of for a while. Torpickin and Bathgate. Now, there's a band. Oh, man, I have a real soft spot for them. We have the Toshiba, New Zealand Pipe Band as well. St. Joseph's, of course. Yes, remember St. Joseph's well, competing in Grade 1. Also the City of Blacktown from Australia. And we had the Witwatersrand. This could be stuff that Rab got wrong. Come on, my pronunciation. Yeah, the Witwatersrand Pipe Band from South Africa. Yeah, such a fascinating list, all right? But that's not the only post that's caused conversation. Just shout out to Trevor Clydesdale. A lot of people checking out Trevor's content and like really going down some rabbit holes with all of this. I think one of the funniest comments on that post about the 1995 Worlds was that if McNeilstown and St. Lawrence O'Toole were there would have been 30 bands in there. Well, to be precise, St. Lawrence O'Toole at that time were in Grade 2 and McNeilstown Pipe Band were actually in Lorient that year. So, yeah, there you go. I don't know, fascinating stuff. Anyways, I hope that answers some listener mail. We got a lot of questions asking about that one particular post just posted yesterday. Go and check it out. Shout out to Trevor Clydesdale. Very interesting conversation then. Yeah. Also, we did get some drum majoring questions following last week's episode. People wanting to know where to buy maces from. So we have sent out links and stuff for where you can go and get maces. There's actually quite a number of places. I didn't know this, but apparently there are a lot of folks out there who manufacture and sell maces. So, I don't know. I learned a lot from answering your questions. There you go. Right, so listener mail, as I say, if you do any questions or any topics of the week, suggestions, all that kind of stuff, you can email us in bigrabshow@gmail.com. Do let us have it. And we'll do our best to bring that in a future show. Well, speaking of bringing it to a future show, one of our favourite features is back again. It's time for Weekly Drone. Yeah, JD has been bored for this past 3 weeks because there's been no Weekly Drones at all. Well, I'm very glad to say that you folks have definitely answered the call, and we have some Weekly Drones on the shelf. So, JD, let us have the first one then, mate.
It's the Weekly Drone.
Band Maw. Hi, Rab and all the gang. Can't have 3 weeks of no Weekly Drone. Need to keep JD busy. No gripes here, practice is going well, and really excited for first outdoor competition of the season at Garak on the 10th of May. It's shaping up to be quite the season. Keep up the fab work, guys. See you on the grass. P.S. Shout out to everyone at Kilbarkin Pipe Band.
Yay! Go on the Kilbarkin. Yeah. Do you know something? I very nearly hit the stuff that Rab got wrong, but I realized that JD is from the United States and may well have found the pronunciation of Guruk difficult. So I'm not going to give him a hard time because I'm always pronouncing stuff incorrectly. But he managed to pronounce Kilbarchan correctly. There you go. JD, you're an absolute legend. It's great to hear you back again. And yes, indeed, shout out to Kilbarchan. They're a band that we're looking forward to seeing. And yeah, Gurk's just around the corner, actually. I know a lot of folks who are furiously working behind the scenes preparing for that one. I think Gurk is going to be like a big line in the sand for a lot of competitive bands who are really excited to hit that circle. I can't wait for it either, and I'm not going. I can't make it to Gurk, but I'm certainly going to be keeping across all the action for sure. And we do have team members that will be competing that day and hopefully covering the event for us as well. So we will bring you as much of the action as we can from Gurk. So yeah, shout out to Kilbarchan. Go on, the Kilbarchan. Woohoo! All right, that's a great way to get things started, JD. Go on, let us have another one then. Number 2 for this week.
It's the weekly drone. North American Piping Championships. Hey Rab, it is awesome that you talk about the Glengarry Highland Games and share how incredible it is from the piping and drumming all the way to the fans. But I never hear you mention that it is in fact the North American Piping Championships. There are some international bands each year, but it would be great to attract a few more by promoting the prestige that comes with the event. It is also the Pibroch Society Gold Medal of Canada competition, so there's some fantastic opportunities for soloists too. Big Rab Show number 550 might line up with the 2027 North American Piping Championships.
Oh, that's very cheeky. Weekly Droner, very cheeky. But yeah, that's a fair point. I did neglect to mention that it is the North American Championship. So hi, there you go. Same way I refer to things here as being like the Ulsters or the All-Irelands, etc. Yeah, I should absolutely give it its proper and full title. But also, I wasn't aware of the prestige available for solo pipers as well. I wasn't aware that there was the gold medal for the Pibroch Society. That's interesting. So thank you for sending that in. So yeah, that's on me. I did not talk about all of the prestige that goes with it, you know, being a North American champion and all that stuff. So, hi, that's my bad. Apologies. But yeah, I learned a bit there from that weekly drone. Thank you, whoever sent that in. Yeah. All right, JD, I think we've got time for one more. So this one has a very suspect title, though. It says Mon the Lagan. Right, so I'm going to press play on this, and I don't know if it's just JD going, you! I guess we'll find out. Go on, JD. Let us have it.
The Weekly Drone.
Tullylagan Grade 4. Tullylagan Grade 4 band sounding mighty in the County Down Indoor. Keep up the good work, Rab.
Oh, was that it? Oh, that's really nice. Thank you. See, sometimes JD titles the weekly drones in my inbox, and then I have no idea what's in them. And I was actually nervous about that. I was thinking, uh-oh, somebody's going to be slagging us off here, you know? But that's really nice. Thank you. Yes, Tullylagan 4B, the band that I'm competing with, we did step out on the boards of the County Down Indoors. We were a bit nervous, you know, a bit nervy, a bit jangly. You know, first contest of the year, you know, took a bit to get us settled, I guess. But a very strong performance. We thought we'd done well. Hey, all good, you know. That's the season started for us at Tullylagan 4B. And this weekend, I believe we'll be playing in the quartets as well. And that's another topic of altogether. Anyway, but yeah, the season is underway. And thank you so much for the compliment. I appreciate it. Thank you. Shout out to the Tullylagan team and to every other band, I have to say. There's been so much work behind the scenes this last while with bands at all levels. We're going to talk about this in the news and updates, but there's been so much social media activity from bands all across the scene, not just here in the UK, but all across the world. Bands that are furiously attending practices for hours on end and just honing their craft. And it's really encouraging to see, you know. So, whenever you're trudging your way to band practice for maybe the second or third time that week, and the last thing you want to do is start playing through that MSR again, well, just know this, that you're not alone. There's hundreds, and if not thousands of others out there doing exactly the same thing, trudging their way to band practice, struggling their way through the set for like the 17th time that night, and then just whenever you're about to go home, the pipe major says, one more intro. Seriously, lad, one more intro. We've done like 27 the night already. Anyway, don't worry, you're not alone. We're all going through this together. And before you know it, folks, we'll be on the grass, blasting out tunes and trying to lift some silverware. It's going to be so much fun. Do you know, that's what I'm taking from this. I can't wait for the season. Anyway, so that's a future show, actually. We did mention this in our previous podcast that we will be doing a full season preview, and we'll be getting into every grade, the bands that we're excited to hear, why, all that stuff. So that's on a future show. So if you do have any comments for that podcast, for our season preview, anyone we should be paying attention to particularly, or ones that you're just excited to see, and then email us in, bigrabshow@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts for the season ahead. And also, let's keep JD busy now. Send us in your weekly drones where you can, let us know your thoughts and feelings, warts and all. And we'll bring it here to a future show. I think the joy of it is that it's completely anonymous. Like, none of those weekly droners there, whoever they are, we have no idea who they are. So that's the beauty of it. Open microphone to the bagpiping world without the fear of recrimination. All right, so that's it for all the introductions, or listener mail, or weekly drone. Covered a lot of ground there already, I feel. So, I think it's time for me to take a wee break. But I'll be right back with all the news and updates after this. Ever wish you had a piping teacher on call 24/7? Well, now you do. Introducing the Interactive Player, a game-changing new practice tool at Dojo University. Play along with world champion pipers while the notes on your sheet music light up in time. Loop tricky phrases, slow down tough sections, zoom in to focus, and build speed automatically. It's like having a teacher right in your practice room, showing you how to master every tune at your own pace. So, sign up for a free trial today at pipersdojo.com and start learning smarter with Dojo U's Interactive Player. Okay, time for all the news and updates. Now, yes, I do realize that some things will have to hit the cutting room floor this week because honestly, there's just way too much. But we're going to do our best to get through all of it. Let's go. First of all, we're going to start with the Oceania Drumming Championships, which took place this past weekend there in New Zealand. Yeah, in Christchurch to be precise. Now, the drumming action on offer here, I've been told, was off the charts. Now, I have yet to see any performances from this, unfortunately. Now, that could be on me. I do believe they have been published out there, but I just haven't viewed them yet, so that's on me. But, yes, our overall champion from the Oceania was Stephen Shedden. Yes, of course, lead tipper from the mighty Hawthorn. Yeah, he lifted the MSR and the Hornpipe Jig title, so, quite a convincing win. In second place in the MSR was Hamish Wallace, also from Hawthorn, and Hamish was also second in the Hornpipe Jig. There you are. In third place in the MSR was Douglas Bisland, of course, from the city of Invercargill. Go on, Douglas. In fourth place in the MSR, Davy Clark from Canterbury, Caledonia. There you are. So, yes, as I mentioned, the full results from all of this are published online. You can go and view them, and I do believe some performances do exist somewhere out there on social media. But I think what the exciting element of this competition is that pre-Worlds qualification spot that's up for grabs. Yeah, so this wings those people straight through to the semi-final at the World Solos in October, and that's a huge deal. So, if you do want to go and check out all the details about the competition, there's been articles published everywhere, pipesdrums.com, bagpipe.news, all that sort of stuff. Also go to the RNZ PBA for your full listings and, your overall sheets and everything. And not just the adult grades, but for all the other grades as well, tenor drumming, bass drumming, it's all up there. So, Yeah, I know I'm kind of summarizing quite a huge event, but yeah, shout out to everyone involved there at the Oceania Pipe Band Snare Drumming Championships. I've been told that it ran absolutely fantastically, like clockwork. And yeah, congratulations to those who did pick up that pre-qualifying spot for the World Solos. Looking forward to seeing you now in Glasgow in October. Yeah. All right, so away from drumming for a little second, I want to give a shout out this week to Ross Miller. Now, last week on the show, we did plug this. We did tell you that Ross has some brand new music coming out called Would Paddy Not Dance? Well, if you were listening to our show on Fuse FM Ballymoney last night, well, yeah, we thumped out that tune with gusto. And man, you talk about a reaction to new music. Woo, unbelievable. So, yeah. Shout out to Ross Miller. What an amazing track called Would Paddy Not Dance? If you haven't bought it yet or checked it out at least, well, going to give you a little bit of a flavour as to what you might expect. That was just a little bit, a bit of a taster, if you will, of Would Paddy Not Dance from Ross Miller. Now, you guys know I'm a huge Ross Miller fan, absolutely love his music, and yeah, any chance we get over in Fuse, we do try and thump out some tunes from Ross. So, yeah, it's a good time to be a fan of Ross Miller, so go along now, rossmillermusic.com, go and pick yourself up a copy of that, and yeah, the full track is just blistering. It's so good. So yeah, shout out to Ross and everyone there in the band, the accompaniment there, just fantastic. What a great track. Go and check it out. I know it's a shameless plug, but hi, why not? Would Paddy Not Dance by Ross Miller. That's a cracker. Okay, I'm going to briefly mention a news story which I believe will have quite huge repercussions for the RSPBA Pipe Band College. Yeah. Now, on May 2nd, there was a huge statement that was published on the website to say that the Pipe Band College will be going through what's called a strategic reset. Now, as to what a strategic reset is, your guess is as good as mine. Let's have a look at the statement. Oh, we love a good statement here on the show, don't we? The Royal Scottish Pipe Band Association today announced a strategic reset of its Pipe Band College, marking the beginning of a comprehensive restructuring process designed to strengthen and future-proof the college for generations to come. Now, that's just the opening paragraph. Okay, the next that goes on to say, this proactive initiative reflects the association's commitment to excellence in education, innovation in teaching, and long-term sustainability with the global pipe band community. The reset will allow for a full assessment of the college's structure, curriculum, and delivery methods, ensuring it continues to meet the evolving needs of students, instructors, and member bands worldwide. Right, so far we know they're going through something. A reset, but as to what exactly it is, no idea. But going by a statement actually that came in from the chair, Robert Niven of the college. So the Pipe Band College has long been at the heart of our mission to promote and develop pipe band music. This reset is a positive and necessary step to ensure that the college remains relevant, resilient, and capable of delivering high-quality education well into the future. Now, as to what exactly this reset entails, they mentioned structure a few times that throughout the rest of this. I'm kind of paraphrasing now. The full statement is available. But structure is one thing, but also their curriculum is another. Yeah, the Pipe Band College has been in place now for a long time. And, well, I can only see this as a good thing. To have a strategic reset, a full review of how they do things, I believe can only be a positive. So I'm hopeful for the future. Yeah, so this statement from the board of directors is available on the rspba.org website. Go and read at it at your leisure. I just kind of grab little bits from it, I guess. But they did tell us that throughout all of this transitional reset, or strategic reset, sorry, give it the proper title, that they will be communicating regularly with members and students and everyone else to tell you all what's happening, laying the groundwork for what will be a revitalized and sustainable college model going forward. Very interesting stuff. So yeah, this strategic reset, in my opinion, can be seen as a positive. Now, I don't know, there could be folks out there that say, it's a complete waste of time, it's just absolutely terrible, all of that. Right, so there could be the total opposite here. But yeah, I'd love to know your opinions on this. I do see this as a positive. Email us in, bigrabshow@gmail.com. Do you think the strategic reset will have a huge impact on the college going forward? Yeah, we'll keep a tab on that one. That's an interesting one. Okay, I do want to mention a few draws that have been published. Yes, we're going to talk about the draw for the major in a second or two. But first of all, I do want to talk about the Mid-Ulster quartets that are this weekend. Yeah, Saturday, the 9th of May. Man, I can't wait for this competition. It's going to be so exciting. Yeah, now, it's for a long time, quartet competitions used to happen regularly here in Northern Ireland, but now not so much. So, well, I think this is the first that we've seen a quartet competition actually see the light of day in a long time here in Northern Ireland. So I'm very excited for this one, in case you haven't guessed. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. So if you do want to go and check out the full draw for the Mid-Ulster quartets, go along, check it out. The full thing has been published. You can go and have a read at it at your leisure. And yeah, I have been told myself on good authority that I may well be competing at the quartets. May well be competing. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Depends on what the pipe major says at band practice this week. So I don't know. But yes, there are a number of quartets from bands all across the province entered for this weekend. So that's going to be exciting right there. Also, speaking of this weekend, Clough-Finn Pipe Band are having a huge concert. Now, and we might have mentioned this at least a dozen times already on our Fuse FM show, but for good reason. Yeah, because, well, if anything, they're celebrating 100 years in the business, right? That's exciting in itself. So Clough-Finn themselves will be on stage, and I've been told that they're going to promise us some brand new music. Yes, a lot of their new competitive stuff could well be hitting the stage this weekend. So shout out to Clough-Finn. Now, not only are Clough-Finn going to be there, but also Pipe Major Stuart Little, MBE, will be there along with Stephen McWhirter, putting on a bit of a recital. Yeah. So honestly, I can't wait for this. Now, also, for any of you out there who haven't got tickets for this show yet, I'm going to say it on this week's show. Now, we've already put it out on our socials, and these tickets have been going like crazy ever since. Well, yeah, we have a very special promo code. Promo code is Big Rab. If you do want to go to the Burnavon Theatre box office and secure your tickets for this weekend's Clough-Finn concert, just, yeah, where it says coupon or that, a promo code, type it in, Big Rab, no spaces, and you'll get 20% off your tickets. Now, these are a limited number of discount tickets, so once they're gone, they're gone. So if you're planning on attending this weekend in the Burnavon Theatre in Cookstown, then take advantage of our promo code, Big Rab. Yeah, and you'll get money off. There you go. Not bad. See, money off even just by listening to the podcast right now. I can hear people Googling Burnavon Theatre right now. Yeah, I'll hopefully see you all there because, of course, I will be there. I am actually MC on the night, so I'm looking forward to that. You know, hanging out with Stuart and Stephen and the folks there at Clough-Finn. It's going to be a great night filled with music. Yeah, all sorts of great crack. Anyway, so hope you can join us in the Burnavon Theatre on Saturday after the quartet competition. So that's going to be an exciting weekend of piping and drumming. Right, speaking of other draws that have been published, I have to give a shout out this week to the Dollar Pipe Band competition. Yeah, now the draw was published on the 4th of May, so just a couple of days ago, and looking at the amount of people entered for this competition on the 23rd of May, this is huge, folks. Honestly, I did not expect this. Dollar Academy competition is massive. Now, let's go through the draw here. I'm going to go through the numbers. Starting with Novice Juvenile B, we have 11 bands in there. That's as good as a major right there for Novice Juvenile B. Wow. Okay, Novice Juvenile A, we've 8 bands in there. Again, quite strong. That's brilliant to see. Moving on to Grade 4B, we've 8 bands in there. Yeah, that's good too. Grade 4A, we have 6 bands in there. Yeah, again, excellent numbers all the way through here. Looking at the juvenile grade, we have 8 bands in there in total. Now, this one did kind of confuse me a little bit. Looking at the juvenile grade, there was 8 bands, and I was go, ooh, there must be someone in. All right, so we have West Lothian Schools, Lochgilly High School, and then we have Lochgilly High School Junior. Yeah. So I wasn't aware of this. So there you go. Lochgilly High School have 2 bands in the juvenile grade. Excellent. We also have George Heriot Schools, Renfrewshire Schools, Preston Lodge, Dollar Academy themselves, and North Lanarkshire. So that makes up your juvenile grade. There you go. Moving on to grade 3. On the day, 14 bands in here. Oh, come on. That deserves a yay. Come on. 14 bands in grade 3. That's brilliant. And then on to the ridiculous grade. In grade 2, we have 11. Even that deserves a yay. Absolutely. All right. And then, of course, on the day, grade 1, we have 8 bands in here. Yeah. With a number of bands playing up, obviously, from grade 2, stretching their legs. But we do have some grade 1 big guns in here as well to entertain. So let's go through the grade. We have Denny and Dunnypace, Johnstone, Colburn IOR, Scottish Power, Field Marshal Montgomery, Shots and Dykehead Caledonia, People's Ford, Boghall and Bathgate Caledonia, and Police Scotland Fife. Whew, that's your grade 1 right there. Dollar Academy competition, man, is shaping up to be a big one. So that's all taking place on the 23rd of May at Dollar Academy itself. And for full details, you can go along to the rspba-dpa.org. There you are. So shout out to the Dundee, Perth and Angus branch. That's such an exciting start to the season there. Brilliant. All right. Brilliant. All right. Speaking of competition draws, I knew a lot of people were going to ask me, "Hi, Rab, have you seen the draw for the UKs yet?" And my answer is no. I have not, because what I often do here on the show is once draws are published, I deliberately ignore them until I get a chance to come out here to the garage to record the podcast, and I'll react to it in real time. All right? Now, all that stuff you just heard me talking about, the Dollar Academy competition, that was all prepared. I kind of knew the numbers already and who to expect. But as for the UKs, I have no idea. So you're going to find out along with me here in real time. I have been not deliberately clicking on this link for good reason, and I'm going to click on it now. UK Draw 2026. All right. Now, before this loads, there's it there. Woo, there's it there. Okay, right. Before I get into this, I'm not going to go through the list of bands like I've done for Dollar there. I'm just going to go through the numbers. All right. We're going to discuss numbers because we will go through the entire draw with a full UK Championship preview. All right. So we will get into that in a full podcast. But first of all, let's just look at the numbers. Starting with Novice B, we have 3 bands in here. Oh, okay. When you compare Novice B at the UK's with Novice B at Dollar Academy, that's a big difference. Okay. Right, let's move on. Novice Juvenile A, then, for the UK Championships, we have 6 bands in there. Okay, that's all right. That's respectable. That's good. Moving on, next page. Grade 4B for the UK Championships, 10 bands in here. 10 bands. Wow, I'm actually really surprised by that. Wow. Okay, 10 bands. I'm not going to start reading names here, but that's grade 4B. All right, grade 4A, 10 bands for that one as well. You know, it's not a good sign when they're able to put both bands on the same page, or both grades on the same page. That's what I mean. Yeah, so 10 and 4B, 10 and 4A. Okay, moving on to the juvenile then. Juvenile grade, we have 4 in there for juvenile grade. Okay, folks, what's going on? All right, moving on. Next page, looking at grade 3B, we have 8 bands in there. This is a major. Okay, right, so 8 bands in grade 3B. Fair enough. Moving on to grade 3A, we have 11 bands in there. All right, things are getting a bit healthier now. Okay, that's better to see. Man, I'm disappointed in 4B and 4A. We expected to be a pile more. Anyway, so that's 3A then, 11 bands. What about the ridiculous grade, please? 9 for the ridiculous grade in grade 2. That's respectable. Okay, I'll give you some applause there. 9, okay, that's fair enough. Okay, not super duper magic, but fair enough. And then into grade 1, we have 8. Let's run through the names for it. We have People's Ford, Boghall and Bathgate, Caledonia, Scottish Power, Ravara, Shotts and Dykehead, Caledonia, Field Marshal Montgomery, St. Lawrence O'Toole. We have Police Scotland Fife and Police Scotland and Federation. And of course, we don't have Inverarian District because they're going to be competing in Chicago. Yeah, we've spoken about that many times on the show. Yeah, they're actually heading over there to the States to compete in Chicago, but they're also, they have 2 mighty big concerts to do as well. So shout out to Inverary, are going to be way over to America enjoying themselves. When the rest of us are here at the UK Championships dealing with the UK Championships. So 8 bands in grade 1. It's not electric, it's not brilliant, but still that's 8 absolutely stellar grade 1 bands. It is exciting. Okay, it is. Yeah, granted we've more bands in grade 2, but anyway, moving on. All right, that was my real reaction there. I'm disappointed. And 4B and 4A, yeah, I don't know, disappointing, but it is what it is. All right, let's move on quickly. Let's have a look at our drum majors here. Whoa, look at the juniors. Holy cow. Okay, I very nearly swore there. We have 6 heats. 6 heats for our juniors. Wow. Look at you. That's amazing. Brilliant. Okay, and then on the juveniles, we have 3 heats for the juveniles. Excellent. And then for the adults, 3 heats for them as well. Wow. Okay, very healthy in the drum majoring front. That's brilliant. But, numbers are down. Numbers are down for the UKs. Why is that, I guess? I suppose with the UK Championships being held in Belfast and a lot of bands having to travel to Northern Ireland, obviously cost is a huge consideration for a lot of bands, particularly from Scotland or from all around the UK who might not be able to travel and compete at this event. So that's a factor right there. So that could be the reason that we're seeing a dip in numbers here. But, when the likes of Inverary can head off to Chicago and enjoy themselves. I don't know, folks. I would love to know your opinions on this. I'm sitting here reading names now to see who's playing, and I shouldn't do. I'm going to do that in a full, proper preview podcast. We'll go through the UK Championships in detail, and I'm sure by that time, we will have a little bit more of the story as to why some of these grades are a little bit down in numbers in comparison to other major championships, that we read out earlier on. All right. So the full draw for the UKs, you can sit and read through all the names. Go for it. They're all up there now. rspba.org, the draw for the UK Championships. Regardless of the small numbers, it's a major championship, and I'm excited for it. So, that's going to be a good one right there. Let's move on. Get away from competition draws and stuff. Well, I do want to give a little bit more of competition news. Well, we announced this on the podcast a while ago when we did interview the chairman of the RSPBA Northern Ireland branch. He was on the show to tell us that the 73rd Ulster Pipe Band Championships will be held in Ward Park in Bangor. Yes, on the 1st of August. This is going to be quite a huge event. So, shout out to the Ards and North Down Borough Council. This event, the Ulsters does draw in quite a number of bands, and I'm looking forward to this one. And Ward Park is quite an iconic venue with a lot of live music festivals and stuff being held there. And it's very easy got to as well in sunny Bangor. So there you go. We'll see you all in Ward Park for the Ulsters. That announcement is now live. It's up there in the RSPBA Northern Ireland branch site. You can go and have a look at that, all the details. And the entries for that and other competitions are still open at this point. But we are hopeful that we will see more draw information in the near future as these competitions, their closing dates are fast approaching. All right, let's fly on. Okay, I do have some more competition results for you from this past weekend. Yes, was the South Coast Highland Gathering, which took place there in Hutchison Park now I'm going to pronounce this wrong, and I'm not going to do it on purpose. Is it Amanzimtoti? Yeah. Go away, Mr. Trombone. I didn't pronounce that incorrectly. I hope. So at the South Coast Highland Gathering, basically at Hutchison Park there, thanks to Pipe Band South Africa, what a huge event this was. For anyone who's seen the videos and stuff from this, especially from the mass pipes and drums, it looked to be quite a stellar event, this one. So let's go through the results then here briefly. Winners of Grade 4 overall on the day were Transvaal Scottish. Yeah, second were St Andrews. And a third were Kansana and District. Yes. And fourth were the Pretoria Highlanders. And that was your Grade 4 overall. Looking at Grade 3 then, overall were the Pretoria Highlanders were winners on the day. Second was the Dilla Sale Combined Pipe Band. And in third place was African Sky. Yes. Then looking towards the ridiculous grade in Grade 2, in first place were Transvaal Scottish. Woo! Go on the Transvaal. Yeah. In second place was the Comland 1645. There you are. In third place was the Benoni Mactala, and in fourth place then overall was the Durban Caledonian Society. There you are. Now, I have seen some of those performances. I have seen one from the Transvaal Scottish. I think I've seen their medley performance, which had ones right across the board. It was just something special. Also seen the Grade 3 performance by the Pretoria Highlanders. Very enjoyable stuff. And also shout out to African Sky as well, who published their performances as well across on social media. So yeah, just a lot of great music to enjoy there. And what a venue, by the way. The South Coast Highland Gathering. Now, Siobhan had been telling us about this competition, about just how cool it is being on the coast and everything. Wow. Just wow. So yeah, for everyone competing in South Africa, you're very lucky. That's such a beautiful venue. Yeah. So, and what a great competition as well. Now, I kind of glanced over it. I give you the overall titles as well. But yeah, you can go check out all the action to do with drum majoring in that as well, and your individual disciplines like MSR and medley. You can go and have a look at all of that. It's been published up there now on Pipe Bands Association of South Africa. Go and check it out. Yeah. So the season there in South Africa is thundering along. Yeah, so we're doing our best to keep up with it. Now, we do know we promised you all sorts of videos and stuff from that. We are working on that. We do hope to have them on our socials as soon as possible. So if you do want to catch the action from South Africa, do stay posted on the Big Rab Show. We're going to do our best to get you all that stuff as soon as we can. All right. Okay, this past weekend, come on, I have to talk about it. All right, People's Ford, Boghall and Bathgate were back on stage, hosted by Bucksburn and District. What an amazing show. Come on. The Aberdeen Music Hall was just absolutely packed, and for good reason. Yeah, People's Ford, Boghall and Bathgate promised us a wealth of brand new stuff. Now, not only were they bringing their Cabaret show back to the stage, which was awesome, but they also brought a whole dose of brand new music. Yeah, including an all-new competitive medley. Did you see this? Oh my God. Right. So I have played this medley now, probably until I can play it by memory now at this point. Such a good set, man. You know, I love this time of year when bands unveil their new stuff. And it's in moments like this at a huge concert. I remember even when Fife done it at the Kids with Cancer Night when they unveiled their medley. Wow. Mouths just hit the floor, man. It was just brilliant. So, let's get a little sneaky peek. And yeah, this has been published actually on the People's Ford, Boghall and Bathgate Caledonia social media. You can go back and have a listen at it yourselves. But let's get a little listen to it on the pod this week to give us a bit of a flavour as to what the mighty Boghall will be bringing to the circle this year. Wow. There you go. That was just a little flavour of it, okay? I'm not playing the full thing, but if you do want to go and listen to the full set, you can. Go along to People's Ford, Boghall and Bathgate on their social media. They have posted that performance up there, and honestly, oh, man, see the way it ends and everything as well? Oh, I don't know. I'm lost for words, and that doesn't often happen. I think this year in Grade 1 is going to be extremely competitive. It's going to be good, man. So, yeah, shout out to People's Ford, Boghall and Bathgate, Caledonia. What a show. I have heard so many glowing reviews, and not only from People's Ford themselves, but also for Bucksburn and District, who took to the stage as well. A lot of people very impressed, myself included, and a lot of those performances have been published out on socials as well. So congratulations to Bucksburn. What a great show. And to People's Ford, Boghall and Bathgate, Caledonia. Wow, what a huge moment. And I can't wait to see them on the grass this year. Man, that's going to be good. Right, well, speaking of People's Ford, Boghall and Bathgate, Caledonia, well, they're going to be performing this weekend at the Tannockside Miners Club. Now, we mentioned this last week, where Uddingston Pipe Band are hosting a huge recital night. Yes, with Roddy McLeod, MBE, Kerr McQuillan, of course, lead tipper of People's Ford, Boghall and Bathgate, and we have Callum Beaumont on the night as well. So, yeah, the reason I'm giving the band a shout as well, apparently Kerr McQuillan will be there, of course, as I mentioned, but he'll also be bringing the drum corps with him. Yeah, so the full drum corps from People's Ford, Boghall and Bathgate, Caledonia will be there at the Uddingston recital this weekend. Wow. So, well, if you haven't got tickets for this yet, and you are planning on attending, my advice is go now. Uddingston Pipe Band on their socials have been posting this now for days. You really don't want to miss out. Similar to the Clockfin concert this weekend, I'm surprised that there's tickets still available, to be honest. But, yeah, go and grab them. Head along now to Uddingston Pipe Band and grab tickets for this weekend's recital in the Tannockside Miners Club. That's going to be such a great night of piping and drumming. Shout out to Uddingston. That's going to be an exciting night there. Okay, I'm going to briefly mention Piping Live. Now, the reason we're going to give them a shout this week is, well, they've been putting announcements out on their socials for a lot of exciting events. Well, just at the point of me recording this, they've announced an exciting event for drummers. Yeah, it's called the Drum Corps Series, where a lot of our Grade 1 big guns will be taken to the stage at Piping Live. Come on! How amazing is that? For the longest time, that's been kind of a bugbear of a lot of drummers, as that Piping Live was just for pipers. Well, I've always kind of disagreed with that. There was always drumming elements to it. But, yeah, this year, there's all sorts of drumming action at Piping Live. So they've even told us which drum corps will be performing on which day. On the Monday of Piping Live, we'll have Simon Fraser University Pipe Band. Then on Tuesday, we'll have Shots and Dykehead Caledonia Pipe Band. Wow. Then on the Wednesday, we'll have Inverary District. Yeah. And then on the Thursday, we'll have St. Lawrence O'Toole Pipe Band. Wow. So again, what's not to love? If you're a fan of drumming at all, or even just to see this happening at Piping Live, go and check out these drum corps happening on the centre stage at the National Piping Centre at Piping Live this year. That's exciting. Now, also, the Piping Live folks have announced that on Wednesday, the 12th of August, is the Gordon Duncan Memorial Competition. Tickets for this are now available. You can go to pipinglive.co.uk. Now, we haven't been told about the lineup yet. All right. Now, we do know that this is by invitation. So once those invitations get published, we'll certainly let you folks know. But yeah, the tickets for the Gordon Duncan Memorial are available now, pipinglive.co.uk. All right. Also, we did get questions from folks when we were talking about tickets and stuff. They did post it up on their socials recently to say that all under 16s go free to Piping Live. Now, isn't that brilliant? We were talking about gratuities and stuff and discounts for kids and all the rest. Well, they put it out on their socials not too long ago that if you are purchasing tickets on pipinglive.co.uk, that kids aged under 16 are free. Isn't that brilliant? Come on, that deserves a round of applause. Absolutely it does. Okay. Right. We're not done talking about Piping Live just yet, because ourselves here at the Big Rab Show, we have something very special to announce to you. Oh, and what could that possibly be? Oh, who knows? Na, 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 na. What is Big Rab talking about? Well, folks, we have been holding on to this information now for what feels like forever, and we've been teasing it as well. We've been telling you guys that we have something quite special lined up for episode 500. Well, for those of you savvy enough, I'm sure you're probably going to put two and two together, but ourselves at the Big Rab Show, we're heading back to Piping Live. Yeah! We're going back to Piping Live. We have a huge Big Rab Show planned for Piping Live this year. Yeah, we have a massive celebration event, if you will. We are going to be heading to Piping Live on the Thursday. Now, in previous Big Rab shows that we've done and recorded at Piping Live, we've been at the side stage. You know, last year they called it the Bothy Tent, and then before that it was called the Street Cafe and stuff. Well, this year, they've moved us. We're not going to be in the wee side tent anymore. We're going to be somewhere else. We're going to be on the main stage. Can you believe it? Yeah. We have a massive show planned for you. We're going to be celebrating 500 episodes of the Big Rab Show podcast with a high energy, full octane live recording. And man, we can't wait for this. We do have a full lineup, and I'm going to announce it now. We have Kaelin the bagpiper, who's an incredible solo bagpiper. Just wait till you see this guy. Is amazing. So we have Kaelin joining us on the show. We have Drumlock Pipe Band. Yeah, the full band. Drumlock Pipe Band will be there. I can't wait for that. Now, we also have Hugh Smighton. Hugh Smighton is going to be doing a bit of a solo spot for us. Of course, you know, he's been part of Big Rab Show Live in previous events where we invited him up on stage, and he was part of the Big Rab Show Pipe Band last year. So, yeah, Hugh's going to be doing a solo spot for us. Yeah. We also have a very cool, I'm not going to give it away, but we do have a drum major display. That's all I'm going to say on that, but we do have some surprises there. We have a quite cool drum major display. And then also possibly one of the star attractions for Rab Show Live will be North Stratton Pipe Band. Yes, North Stratton Pipe Band will be closing things off for us for our celebration of 500 episodes of the show. Man, I just can't tell you just how chuffed we are to be heading back to Piping Live. You know, this is the biggest piping festival in the world, arguably. And to be a part of it is such a huge honor. And yeah, we've been involved now at Piping Live for a good number of years now, to be honest. But yeah, to have the chance to go to the main stage and celebrate 500 episodes of our podcast with you folks out there, the bagpiping folk, we could not be more excited. So we really hope that you folks can join us for what will be quite a huge landmark moment for all of us here in the Rab Show team. This show for the bagpiping folk. We hope that you can celebrate along with us. Now, as we get closer to the event itself on the Thursday of Piping Live, we will have a few little surprises along the road. Okay? Now, I know this episode is getting pretty close to episode 500. You can't get much closer than, well, I suppose you can. But yeah, we will have a little few surprises on the road to episode 500. But yeah, that's quite a lineup right there. So, folks, we hope that you can go to pipinglive.co.uk, grab your festival passes, go and grab your tickets, and we hopefully will see you there on the Thursday of Piping Live at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. We're going to thump out some big tunes in Glasgow and celebrate 500 episodes of the pod. Do you know what? It's a good time. I can finally let the cat out of the bag. Seems to be I've been talking about this blinking cat now for weeks. Well, there it is. The cat is out of the bag. We're heading to Piping Live, baby, to celebrate 500 episodes of the show. And we hope that you guys can join us. All right, that's our big announcement. As promised, we did talk all about it last night on Fuse, and people were guessing flat out. Good number of you actually got it right, but also a good number of you got it wrong as well. Anyway, right, let's fly on. We got another bit of a news story, actually. Speaking of North Stratton, who will be joining us now at Rab Show Live, well, they unveiled their competitive medley at a competition there recently. I'm sure a lot of you might have seen this. We posted it on our social media, but yeah, North Stratton unveiled their competitive medley at the Ogden Indoor Highland Games in Calgary in Alberta there this past weekend. Now, you talk about a medley selection. Whew, I don't know, man. Standards just appear to be getting better and better. And yeah, North Stratton did not disappoint. But those signature yellow drums, they're unmistakable. But what a sound. Wow, what a set. If you haven't checked it out yet, please do. Go along. Again, it's uploaded there on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page as well. Shout out to the North Stratton Pipe Band. So excited to see them at Piping Live at our event. It's going to be so good to have them. But yeah, hopefully they'll play a little bit or two of this new selection. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to bring to Piping Live. It's exciting. So yeah, shout out to North Stratton. Exciting times. Okay, so before I do fly into this week's topic of the week, for Red Hot Chili Piper fans, I do have to mention that this weekend they are playing in the Waterfront Hall in Belfast. Yes, on Friday, the 8th of May. So that kind of is the day before the quartets. So if you do want to fill your entire weekend with piping, well, you can do. Yeah, go to the Friday night to the Waterfront, check out the Chili's. Excellent stuff. What's not to love? Then the next day, then you have the Mid-Ulster Quartets, and then the Clockfin concert there in the Bernavin. And then by that time, you're bound to be scunnered listening to pipes. Well, probably not. So there'll be tons of other action, I'm sure, all across our socials over the course of the weekend. We'll be doing our best to keep you updated on everything that's been going on. And the Edinburgh Tartan Day Parade is also this weekend, Saturday the 9th of May, and I'm sure there will be some action from that one. I do think the Chili's are actually playing in Edinburgh, along with Ali the Piper at that one. Also, shout out to The Force as well. The Force Drum Major Display Team, they're heading across to Edinburgh for the Tartan Parade as well, so they'll be in that as well. And I think they will be at the Usher Hall with the Chili's as well. That's exciting. So shout out to The Force. And speaking of The Force Drum Major Display Team, have you checked out the videos and stuff from their photo shoot that they done at the Giant's Causeway? Oh, come on. Come on. Yeah, with drone footage and stuff with the waves crashing over the stones and everything. Yeah, it just looks spectacular. So shout out to The Force Drum Major Display Team. If you haven't seen that yet, go along to their socials. It's just a lot of greatness in there. Yeah. Fantastic. All right. Do you know, folks, I'm going to draw a line under it at this point, okay? I am very well aware that other bands have unveiled their medley selections. Shout out to Peel Regional Police. They unveiled their 2026 medley over the weekend as well. However, we didn't manage to get the full clip of it because they rickrolled us. For shame. I also have to briefly mention about the Inverary Highland Games. Just today, at the point of me recording this, they put it out on their socials that they're going to be adding a solo drumming competition as part of their Highland Games. And the judge on the day will be Stephen McWhirter. There you go. So for full details on how you can enter and be a part of all of the solo action and drumming at the Inverary Highland Games, well, go and check them out on their socials. I think they will be publishing this in the near future. So this rolls through all from drumsticks and pads all the way through to drummers that are in pipe bands and even through till junior world solo drumming contenders. Well, yeah, this competition will be happening all now at the Inverary Highland Games. That's a really exciting addition. So for all the details and everything, you can go along to that social media account. They will be publishing more details on how to get your entry forms in and stuff for that. So the Inverary Highland Games, quite an exciting development, that one. Okay, and I will leave it there. As I said, there's a lot of stuff that has hit the cutting room floor. I'm very aware of that. But we're going to swiftly move on, folks, because otherwise this podcast will be 5 hours long this week. Anyway, so yeah, what an exciting announcement. And we were able to finally get it out the door. And now I can start talking to people about it. The Big Rab Show's heading to Piping Live again. Wow. The gravity of that's still not lost on me. And the fact that we're reaching 500 episodes is insanity. It's insane. But what a huge milestone. And, you know, we wouldn't be here without you folks. So we really do hope that you can join us at Piping Live this year for what will be such a huge celebration. Oh, man. It's going to be a good time. Hopefully the weather will be good, but either way, we'll be there anyway. Thumping out big tunes. Looking forward to it. All right, folks, time for me to finally go and get myself a big cup of tea. And we're about to get into everything to do with pipe band rankings. Yeah, this is fascinating. Such a great conversation, this. And what an amazing website, too. All right, it's time for me to go and get a big cup of tea. It's time for the topic of the week.
Kingdom Thistle Pipe Band Supplies for all your pipe band and marching band needs. Supplying everything from uniforms and instruments to custom designed bass drum heads. They offer it all. Not forgetting their exclusive Kingdom Gilly Brogues and George Boots, crafted by bands for bands. Kingdom Thistle provides expert product advice and an industry-leading drum refurbishment service to keep your equipment in top-class condition. Also, shipping worldwide. So, stop by their store in Fife or visit them online at kingdomthistle.com for all your pipe band and marching needs.
Marchify, the brand new home of Flam 5 drumming. Check out their brand new Strike bagpipe case, inspired by their colourful, popular and reliable Flam 5 drum cases. The Strike bagpipe case combines durability, style and practicality, protecting every movement. Shop now at marchify.co.uk with worldwide shipping available. Marchify, every movement protected. So, you might have heard us talking about this on last week's podcast, about the launch of a very exciting new website called PB Rankings, Pipe Band Rankings. Now, I have been absolutely studying this website since its launch, and I think a good majority of you out there have been doing exactly the same. So, as promised, we have brought the guy on the show who's behind this amazing website to tell us more about it. So, Billy, would you like to introduce yourself to everyone? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name's Billy Blue. I've been involved in the pipe band scene for a number of years now, and I play with technology in my day job. I decided to, being a data geek, I decided to have a look at how rankings could work within the scene. I haven't seen anything before on it, so it was it's pretty unique in terms of pulling the data and everything together and getting it out there,
Yeah, I'm sure. So, can you tell us a bit about your day job? You say you're a data geek. Is statistics your thing, is it?
Yeah, so data analytics is probably involved in day to day for a whiskey company.
Right.
So it's a very varied spectrum from grain to bottle. So it's it's been in my blood for a long while now. I can certainly sit and put people to sleep, talking about data and how we can use it better and things.
It's absolutely fascinating though what you've built here. This website has been in the works now for a while, because you've been corresponding back and forth with ourselves here at the Rab Show for a good while about this. In fact, last season actually you were giving us updates throughout the year on it. How long has this site been in the works for you, Billy?
So basically from the start of last season, that's where I started pulling it together and looking at what the best way was to calculate the rankings, and was it fair across the pipe banding world?
Yeah.
So I mean, my initial thought was like, how does a band that doesn't get to the World Championships compare themselves with with other bands?
Yeah.
There's people that will, unfortunately, may never get to Glasgow to play in the World Championships, but so it's good for them, I think, to see. Yeah, well, we're there or thereabouts in terms of
There you go.
competition.
So that's been kind of one of the number one questions we've been getting since the launch of the website. People were expecting number one should be Inverarian District World Champions.
Yeah.
And everyone's wondering, hold on, they're not number one. They're like further down the pecking order.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how does the ranking system work?
Right. Yeah, and that was an error that I have duly fixed, and Inverary are firmly in place as number one.
There we go.
But so the way it's calculated is that there's a statistical method called ELO-like, right? And it's similar to how like football teams are ranked or rugby teams are ranked and all that sort of thing. And it basically it started off it was for chess players, and it was simply a win, lose or draw, right. 1-in-1 comparison. But obviously, we don't have that in the pipe band competitions. You're competing against a pool of bands within that grade and set.
Yeah.
So I've set up a pair-wise basically. So if you had a pool of 6, one's better than 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. If you're second place, then you're beat by number 1, and you're better than the remainder. And it's weighted across the piping, drumming, and ensemble.
Right, so it's across all disciplines. Then it isn't just the overall result, right? Because I was curious about that also. Yeah.
So the way the website's set up, you can look at bands from their specific grade. You can look at them in terms of the set, or you can look at them in terms of the discipline, whether it's piping, drumming, or ensemble. So yeah. Again, it's all been my own effort. And I'm absolutely open to ideas, from people to contribute.
It's such a fascinating project. I've been delving through these now. Well, since I was chatting away to you from last season, like looking through the data that you've pulled through, even from 2025, is fascinating to delve through because you can see bands that as the season progresses, they do find form and they get better each week and their points start to rank up. So it's fascinating to look at this. Yeah.
I mean, it was a band in Germany reached out to me, German Thistle, right band, and they were like, "Oh, here's some more competition data." So they gave me competition data for their 2 bands from 2025, which allowed me to go in. That improved their ranking because it opened up the range that they had competed in.
There you go.
They went from 155th down to about 25th.
Wow.
The round, and and you can see that that's been how they've performed because they've went from grade 4B to grade 3A in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So
that's it. Seeing promotion that fast can show you how successful they've been. And there's bound to be other bands in that same bracket also. Yeah. So this is going to be, well, like you've kind of preempted my question then. There's bound to be bands out there that aren't on the list yet. There's bound to be jurisdictions that aren't on the list yet with their competitions listed. If people do want to get their band, their branch, whatever, listed on your site, can they do that?
Absolutely. Send me an email. There's a contact form on the website, or they can email directly at info at pbrankings.co.uk.
There you go.
And I will get the database updated. I do have a minimum. I've set a minimum of 3 performances before the band appears in the rankings.
Right.
That was just, and the maximum is 8, so it looks at the last 8 performances.
Right.
But I done that because it would just fling them right to the bottom if there's only 1 performance and things like that. So give them half a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Do you know, if anything, I've been delving through the archives and stuff, and even looking through some of the competition results you have listed there are fascinating. Have you found that a challenge, though? Like, we've found that challenging ourselves on Rab Show each week doing the news. Getting those results, they're tricky.
Yeah, it's tricky in different ways. No association seems to publish the same way, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you're relying on PDFs and stripping the PDF down, and wondering if I had Guelph, and if I've said that wrong, then apologise. The Guelph Pipe Band from Canada.
Oh yes, yeah.
Somebody got in touch to say, "Where's the Grade 2 band?" I was like, "Oh, right, okay." And I went on, and what had happened was that the Grade 2 results had been in the Grade 3. Simply because it was the exact same name. The only differentiator was the grade, and you know how like a Grade 3 can play up, but a Grade 2 couldn't.
Yeah, play down.
So it's combined the results. So got that fixed, so it's fine as well. But
you know what? It is honestly, I don't know. I have spent so much time already, even just looking at the site. I have no idea, Billy, how much work would go into putting something like this together, man. It's bound to have took you an age to do.
Yeah, I'm not competing this year.
Right.
So for various reasons. So it's given me time that I would normally go to band practice and things like that. But it has been a big chunk of hours went into it,
I'm sure, yeah. So what are your hopes for the future for the website then? I guess people can be using this now all season, tracking progress.
I mean, even if bands wanted to, say, raise money using a fantasy pipe band league, they could use.
Oh, yeah.
Use the
That could be
ranking.
fun, yeah.
Yeah, that would cause a lot of debate, maybe falling out. I think over time it will get better. It'll get more refined. It'll get, the whole engine will get more and more accurate as we go on. If I'd been competing this season, then the idea was for next year to get the rankings out, and that would have given me 2 seasons.
Right.
But
information to go on.
Yeah. So when I get to the end of August after the World Championships, we'll see, how it's going. Do I need to modify? I'll probably send out maybe some questionnaires.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
To say, to see what do you think? I'll obviously include yourself on it, but it's going to evolve over the next few years till it really flattens out, and then hopefully people see benefit. Continue to see benefit.
Do you know what I'm really enjoying about this? Now, this could just be me being really nerdy about pipe band stuff, but it's not just for the UK. This is what I'm saying. Like, there's bands truly internationally, and there's bands listed on the site that I don't know much about, and I can go back and check and say, oh wow, they've actually done really well. So from that point of view, I've learned a lot already, even through your site. Yeah.
I mean, again, another band that got in touch was the Transvaal Scottish Pipes and Drums.
Yes.
And again, it was like when you update with her name and all that sort of thing. No problem. But so I now have a contact in the South African scene that I can get in touch and say, what competitions you got, or what's happening.
You are. What are the results? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. All of that.
So it's all good stuff.
It is, for sure. And I can guarantee there'll be people scrapping over dinner tables now after reading through this. It's already caused rows in our house as well. So it's been so much fun delving through all of it. It's been fantastic. So if anything, I'm going to suggest this for anyone who hasn't checked out the website yet. Please do, because whenever the Big Rab Show will sit down this year and we do our world's prediction podcast, like we do every year, I have no doubt we'll be referring to this website to see how bands' form has been throughout the year, because I'm sure a lot of people can use it for that, couldn't they?
Yeah. I mean, bands can see exactly, kind of where they are within their grade and everything else, and it's, and as you know, over the years we've seen some judging decisions that not everybody agrees on. So so it'll highlight things like that as well in terms of why they ranked higher when when they're not their piping might be off, but their ensemble's superb, sort of thing.
So it'll only cause more debate then, Billy, in our show. That's the problem. Yeah.
I want everybody to fall out with everybody else.
Yeah. Well, for those of you who have checked out the website and maybe you aren't happy with the details and stuff that are recorded there, if there's anything that you're not sure of and you would like to send an adjustment in or something, then again, please give us that email address in for folks to reach out.
Yep. So it's info@pbrankings.co.uk.
There you are. So go and have a look at it. Go and check out your own band. Go and check out all your mates' bands. Go and check out your mates' bands. And then before you know it, it's the next working day and you haven't slept a wink. But honestly, fantastic work and congratulations on all of this. It's such an interesting project, and I am excited to see how it develops in the future. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. So, well, thanks a million for joining us, and no doubt I'll catch up with you on the grass at some point.
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely.
That'll do. And I'll have to annoy you then, and I'm sure you might have a wee clipboard with you as well, recording statistics as you're going through final tuning, Yeah. Yep. Thanks a million, Billy. I appreciate it. And best of luck this incoming season and keeping track of all of this. Yeah.
Yeah. And you.
Thank you. And there you have it. So go and check out the website if you haven't already, but please do be careful. You can absolutely spend hours and hours and hours pouring through this. If anything, I have kind of now banned myself from the website. Yeah, because I can honestly spend hours poring over the details here, and I've had to restrict myself. So right, I'm only going to visit the site maybe twice today, maybe the third time. Well, there's a contest this weekend. I might visit a fifth time. Anyway, so do so at your own risk. It's a fantastic venture, and shout out to Billy for joining us on the show this week. Really appreciate your time. Well, folks, that's it for another topic of the week, and that's it for another Big Rab Show. Thank you all so much for joining us this week, and this one was a pleasure to put together. We have been building towards our announcement for Piping Live now for what seems an age, and it's just brilliant to be able to finally let the cat out of the bag and to share our good news with all of you. We're heading back to Piping Live. Man, I don't know. It still gives me goosebumps every time I say that. It's insane. And I'm really hoping that you folks can join us for what will be a blistering event. You heard all about it earlier. I don't need to talk about it anymore. Anyway, you'll be sick of hearing me talking about it on the lead up to it and probably after it as well. Oh, man, it's going to be exciting. All right, folks, that's it for another Big Rab Show podcast, and we are out the door. Don't forget to go and click on support. Check us out on Patreon. There's tons of extras back there. So if the podcast didn't scratch your itch, well, perhaps there's our last night's Fuse FM Ballymoney radio show over there. There's tons of exclusive interviews, behind-the-scenes stuff, of course, our documentary, the postscript, all that good stuff. It's all back there on Patreon. Go and check it out. All right, I'm out the door, and I will see you all, well, hopefully this weekend at the Quartets for what will be quite a blistering event, and of course the Clock Finn concert. That's going to be off the chain as well. It's going to be a great weekend with piping and drumming. And no matter where you are, competing, out and about playing tunes, have a good tune, and we'll see you all here in the Rab Show Pod next week for even more bagpiping shenanigans. Until then, I'll see you all next week. All the best.
Well, that's it for another Big Rab Show podcast. Thanks so much for downloading this week, and a special thank you to our sponsor, G1 Reeds. Played by bands around the world, they are the champion's choice. Check out g1reeds.com for all of your piping needs. Don't forget to check out thebigrabshow.com to be kept up to date with all of the latest news and views from around the piping world. And also, check us out on Patreon. For $5 a month, you can get your hands on tons of extra piping goodness and be a part of the Patreon faithful. So, until next week, folks, we'll see you right here on the Big Rab Show podcast. All the best.